Hi, it's August the 11th, and this is a video that I'm making for Greg. I met Greg. I've talked to him a couple of times in the past, and we got together on Saturday to discuss some software that he's using, that I'm also using, just to go over some stuff. And we were talking at the end of that session. We were talking about futures. And so I told Greg that I like the 6J. I like to trade the 6J at night. And I told him that I wasn't doing anything really technical. I was drawing out some support and resistance lines, and then trading when the trade went over those support and resistance lines, or went through those support and resistance lines. I was getting in long or short depending upon if the market was moving up and it went through the resistance line, then I would go long, and if it went down through the support line, I would go short. And I told him that 6J was a good market to trade, and I told him that because right now on the 6J, this is the time that it is in Tokyo. This is 11 o'clock, 11:02 in Tokyo time, in the morning, on Monday morning. So when it's my time in Colorado at this time, at 8 o'clock at night, it's 11 o'clock in Tokyo. So I find that this is kind of an interesting time to trade. And so anyways, I've made some trades in Tokyo at this particular time, and I told Greg about it. Anyways, I told Greg that when I go into my chart, first thing I do when I go into my chart, you can see down here that I'm starting this chart. I've gone back in time because I've made a couple of trades, and I've made these trades on the sim just to kind of show Greg what it looks like on the sim. Now these are sim trades. What does that mean? Well, that means that I didn't make live trades. I didn't make live trades because I wanted to show my account. I wanted to show that I made the trade and what could be done. If I were showing you a live account DOM here, it would have my account number in here, and quite frankly, I don't want to show that information to everybody on the web. So I'm doing this on the sim, but I have done this trade in my live account. I have another DOM that I use, and so I have a live DOM and I have a sim DOM. This is my sim DOM. Just want to get that out of the way. Now, first thing I do is when I come into the room, I'm not in the room, but when I show up at my desk, I want to show support and resistance, and I want to try to get an idea of the market. I do that by going over to a Renko chart. I use the 2 Renko, and we were here, and the market on the 2 Renko at the time that I was showing here, this was, what time was that? That was 1910, which is 7 o'clock or so. Here's 1901, and the market is headed up. It doesn't, there's no rocket science here. You can plainly see that the market is going in an upward direction. And this little down here at the bottom, this shows 1907. So at 1910, we had a red candle, and then the market was headed up. I use the Renko just to kind of show me market direction. It shows different things. I've got a linear regression over here, and then after we made this top here, we made a double top, the market started heading down. And I mentioned this chart to Greg when we were talking about it the other day on Saturday. So that's the chart, and it's just a Renko chart. There's nothing fancy about this chart. It's just a 2 Renko chart. It gives you market direction. Just kind of gives you a little bit of heads up about where the market's going. My chart's acting kind of funky here. Okay, so let's go back. Here we got it. We're at 1910. That's 10 minutes after 7 on Sunday night. And I'm looking for support and resistance. Now I got a candle here that goes up. this is the first candle that I'm looking at this is at 1913, 1912. It's the first candle that went up. And I decided, looking at this candle, I would use F6. That's at 406. And so I take that off. I looked at that. I said, okay. I use F6 on my Ninja, and I draw a line there. Simple as that. It's not any big deal. I get another candle. It still can't break through that line. So that's a resistance point. And so I decided that if I could make a trade, I entered in a trade at this price here. This is at 405, and right here it's 405, but right here where the line is 406. I drew the line at 406. If we had a trade that, if we had indication that went up through 406, I was going to get into this trade. Simple as that. That's what happened. This candle was actually, when I went in on this trade, this candle was actually green. It shows red now because it's already printed, and it dropped back down. But when I got into that trade, this candle was green. You can tell by the long wick that we've got here that this was green. It was headed up, and I got in at 407. I was looking for 2 ticks. I waited one candle. This was a doji right here where that little green upward triangle is. That's a doji. Had another doji here, and I got right here at 409. I had a 2-tick target. I moved this up to 410. I was able to pick up 3 ticks on this trade. That's all I was looking for. I was looking for 2 ticks. I had my 2 ticks. I set my stop. I went back and I went in and I got 3 ticks. So that's that particular trade. Now what? I'm looking at this this chart and I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking right now this was at 418. This was, I'm sorry, 918. And it's 1918. It's not 918. It's 718. And so I go back to my Renko, and I'm looking for my Renko, and my Renko is not cooperating. So that was at 718. So if I go over here to 718, what's going on with my Renko at 718? Well, right in through here, at this time frame right in here, this is 916. And I can see that I got a red candle, got another red candle, I got a green candle. It appears to me at this particular time frame when I looked at this that the market was heading down. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a short trade. And so I'm looking for a line that I can put on for a short trade. I come across here and I see this candle back here. Now what I normally do is I go 10 candles back from when I got my sell order here. So if I go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So at the bottom of this candle, I want to draw resistance at 397. Now, you know, you can tell by looking at this, this is not very scientific. Okay, I make that admission right up front. Could it be 9 candles? Yeah. Could it be 12 candles? Yeah. Could it have been here? Could I have dragged this and made it go down to here? Could it have been, 15 candles? Yeah. So why here? It just because. Okay. I mean, this is not any big deal. I'm making it at 97. So I'm drawing it right there. It's not, it's not a big deal. What I did is I entered a short trade. I'm looking to go short anywhere between this range at 10397 all the way to 10405. Okay. What I do is on my dome, I go and I say, okay, that's at 397. You can see the market's really come down since 397, but 397 was, I can't even get my dome to go up where 397 is. But anyways, I enter in it's a sell, but it has to go through this price. It's not just an open sell because you'll get filled there. So I put in a sell that looks like this. And let's say that this is 50, let's say 57. Let's say it wasn't 397, let's say it was 357, just because it's on the dome. My upper range was at 06. So I go up here. I can't go to 06. So let's take another 6. Let's take this 76. This is pretty wide. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now that's the range. Scientific, no, but that's how you enter in the order. You hit your middle mouse and you wait for the price to go through this price or this price. On the buy side, the 407, it went through the 406. I got filled at 407. I had a doji. I had a green candle. I got my target was at 409. I raised it to 410. I got filled at 410. I got out. I'm looking to go short. So don't want to go short now, but that was just an example how I placed the order. So I waited, and you can see that the market came down, got a green candle here, went up, came back down, got a red candle, 2 red candles, 3 red candles, had a couple of dojis, and don't worry about these little star things. It's not important. It's an indicator that I have, that I've got a zillion indicators that I picked up over the years, and so that's, it's not important what those indicators are. But those indicators kind of tell me, when the end of that move is, and as you can see, this candle came down, this candle came down, then we had an up, then it came down, and then this candle was a doji, but it was going up. Then we had a downward candle, and so I placed my order down here below 397. I got in at 396. Okay, and again, I'm just looking for 2 ticks. So I entered in my order because this was where I wanted to get in, and I just entered in my order, just like middle mouse button, boom, there it is. There's my order. That's how I entered it in. Even though the candles are above the line, that's how I entered the order. And I waited. The market was kind of going up. Market was headed back down, and down some more. We got a red candle. These little diamond indicators here, that is the Hull moving average. And that is a moving average that just tells you, gives you kind of a direction of where the moving averages are going. Okay, not a big deal. Now, it went through 397. I had my order at 396. I got filled at 396. I waited. Here's 393. Now, I'm looking for 2 ticks, but I'm managing my trade. What does that mean? That means that I'm that as I entered in an order, and then as the stock comes down, I move my sell down, and I keep moving it down. So I'm originally looking for 2 ticks. 2 ticks is 25 bucks. Okay, I got a green candle, and truth be known, I was getting set up to make this video. I should have gotten out here at 389. That would have been that 89 from 96 to 89 would have been a nice little move, but I didn't get out there because I was messing around with it, getting set up for this video. And so anyways, I got out right here at 392. 96, 92, 4 ticks, 50 bucks. Over here, I made 3 ticks, which was 37.50, and 50 is 87.50. Now, what does this tell you? I was getting ready to make this video, and I don't want to take a lot of time. I could have stayed in this trade. I had profit. I was in over here. So let's just draw, let's take this here, and let's just draw where I got in. I got in here at 103.96. And whoops, let's change that color from blue, and let's just change that to pink. Okay, so now you can see where I sold. I was in profit from where I sold. We'll back it up here. Just go in here. This is where I got into the trade, right here at 103.96. And then we went down 9.2 profit there, still at a profit. The candle went up to 9.3, but the difference between 9.3 and 9.6 still a profit, 3 tick profit. This would have been kind of scary. This would have been a 1 tick profit, but you could have hung in there. It's where I actually got out, 9.2. This went back up to 9.4, but that's still 2 ticks. This went up to 9.5, still at a tick, but then the next candle it started heading back down. And you can see that it continues to go down. And so now we're at 7.1. So ask yourself, is 396 to 371, that's 25 ticks. Is that something you can do? The answer to that question obviously is yes. I was in profit every time I got into that trade, all the way from here, 9.6. There wasn't a time when I wasn't in profit. Now, the problem that a lot of traders make is that when the stock retraces and goes back up to this line, I had my stop set at 397. Why? Well, because I was going to lose a tick. I was up down here 37.5. After you take 37.5, 1 tick is 12.5. That would have still left me with $25, and then pay commission, 2 trades, 10 bucks, 25. Would have wound up, making 15 bucks. That's not so hot. But is $15 more than I had when I started the night trading? Yes. So it's not so much, right? Right. Okay. So I make 15 bucks. It's 15 bucks I didn't have yesterday. That's kind of the way I look at it. This is the trade. We're headed back up. Now what do? So if I buy here, so I go back here, and I'm gonna, I just go back 10 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that doji, 6, 7, another doji, 8, 9, 10. This doji right here, not really a candle. So this becomes my new resistance line here. So take this and draw this down to here. Okay, bingo. So That's my new resistance line, 10 back. And I go this way, and I got in here, and so I might, you know, the guy in the room that I'm trading with, Dale, he says if I had been on my game, I would have gotten out here, and then when that came up down to here, when it came back down to that level, and I'll move this down, when it came back down to this level here, I should have entered in another short and gone short at this level here. Right there. I should have gone short. If I'd been on my game, Dale, I wasn't on my game. I was getting ready for this, to set up for this video. But if I'd been on my game, this is where I could have entered in another short, maybe one tick below this 92, maybe at 91, and then taken the ride down from 91 to, you know, to 71. 20 ticks. 20 ticks on 6J is $250. Not bad. So anyways, Greg, this video is for you. I'm going to post it up on the website. I'm going to send you a link to it. But anyways, this is what I do. And if you have any questions, you have my email. You can drop me a line. And I look forward to trading with you in our room at fftug.com. Anyway, that about does it for this video. It's 20 minutes, 21 minutes or so into the video. I just wanted to show you what could be done on 6J Sunday night. No things are. No, you're in my time zone, so these are all Mountain Daylight times on the chart. If you have any questions, feel free to just drop me an email, and I'll answer them as best I can. And don't know if you have a trading plan. We kind of touched on that briefly, but if you don't have a trading plan, the guys in the room will be more than happy to help you get that set up. We have two guys that are in the room besides myself, Dave and Dale, and we also offer a training room to help you do that. Get you started. We offer a 1-week free trial, and so you can kind of get your feet wet, see what the room's all about. It's in GoToMeeting, so you'll need a headset. The room kicks off at 7:30 Eastern time, which is 5:30 Mountain time. So might be a little early for you, but maybe not. Anyways, if you have an interest, please don't hesitate to ask me any questions or send me an email. Hope you enjoy the video, Greg, and we'll talk to you soon.